A lot of in the last couple of years, it's been kind of just playing true technique right at the line of scrimmage, holding on to a double team. I remember my first going out there on the field with White Cotton, and I'm used to playing doubles. Like when I feel a double team, I'm sitting at the line of scrimmage, I'm kind of holding my ground, and he showed it in the meeting room. Said, "This is not how we play. This is not how this defense play. We attacking up the field." And that's my game. I like to play on the other side of the line of scrimmage, but at that time, when I know it's run, you kind of change the technique. But with this particular defense, if you playing at the line of scrimmage, you're not playing this style of defense.
Good morning, afternoon, or evening to you, wherever you're listening from. It is Saturday, June 20th. My name is Russell Ries, and this is the Nashville Sports Report. All right, welcome into the show. We started today's show with a clip from Titans defensive tackle Jeffery Simmons speaking to the media earlier this week about the new defensive mindset under head coach Robert Saleh. This press conference was actually recorded before the Titans announced a new record-breaking extension for Simmons that will make him the highest-paid defensive tackle of all time. It's a 3-year extension worth $105.8 million with $100 million guaranteed. The extension builds on Big Jeff's current contract, which still has 2 years left. Overall, it keeps him under contract with the Titans for the next 5 years. This is a huge, if not unexpected, move by the Titans. Simmons has been the face of the franchise and the centerpiece of the defense for a few years now. Talent and physical gifts like his are rare, and the Titans are smart to lock him up for the foreseeable future. $35 million a year for a defensive tackle of his caliber doesn't seem too outrageous right now and will only look better as the salary cap rises over the duration of his contract. This is the kind of smart move that successful franchises make, so it's exciting to see the Titans making it. In other Titans news, the team completed a 2-day mandatory minicamp this week. Based on reports out of camp, Cam Ward has continued to make progress in his quest to master the offense and drew praise from head coach Robert Saleh and offensive coordinator Brian Daboll. With new additions at receiver like Carnell, Tate, and Wan'Dale Robinson, Cam and the Titans offense seem poised to make a big jump this year. With minicamp over, the Titans now enter into their summer break until the start of training camp in late July. This is the longest break in the year-round NFL schedule, and we probably won't hear a lot of news from the team until training camp ramps back up. While the Titans were announcing the Jeffery Simmons extension, the U.S. men's national team was taking on Australia in their second World Cup match. Much like in their first match against Paraguay, the U.S. got on the board fairly early thanks to an own goal.
Balogun has a step on Shirkani. Balogun to the byline. Balogun into the middle. Dead! It's the United States once again on the board early. Ricardo Pepi was in. Was it perhaps last off the defender? Who cares? It's 1-0 U.S.
Later in the half, the U.S. got a second goal thanks to Alex Freeman following up a deflected shot from Sergiño Dest. While initially ruled offside, the video assistant referee, or VAR, would rule that Freeman was onside and the goal stood.
Leads to the set piece.
Robinson fizzing it back. Sergiño Dest blocked. Still in. Might be two. Is two. Or maybe not. The flag comes up for offside. Freeman thought he was celebrating a World Cup goal.
2-0 would prove to be the winning margin as the U.S. held on and officially advanced to the knockout stages with the win. Even better for the U.S., a Paraguay victory over Turkey late last night meant that they also won their group and will have a more favorable seeding in the knockout stages as a result. They will still face Turkey this Thursday at 9 p.m., but the results of that game will not affect their standings. They will go on to face the third-place team from one of groups B, E, F, I, or J on July 1st at 7 p.m. This is only the third time a U.S. men's team has won their group, with the last being 2010. Based on the results and the form they've shown through the first two games, it's not unreasonable to have high hopes as they head into the knockout stages. Perhaps they aren't yet at the level of some of the elite contenders, but I think the U.S. will be a tough out from this tournament, and nobody will be feeling happy to face them. Exciting times to be a U.S. men's team fan. Moving now to the Predators, they had a busy week as they get ready for the NHL Draft, which is this coming Friday and Saturday. First, GM Chris McFarland made a trade with his old team, the Colorado Avalanche, trading 2 third-round picks, one for this year and one for next year, and the rights to unrestricted free agent goalie Magnus Krona for center Ross Colton and goalie Isaac Posch. Colton is the centerpiece of the trade and projects as a middle six center, but can also play on the wing if needed. He could also be a desirable trade asset down the line if the Preds find themselves out of the running come the trade deadline. Later in the week, McFarland announced that the Predators will retain Andrew Brunette and his coaching staff this season, and that he has hired Jamie Langenbrunner as special assistant to the GM. Langenbrunner will add to the growing brain trust around McFarland and will primarily focus on professional and collegiate scouting. Now the Preds turn their attention to the NHL Draft, where they have the 10th overall pick. Finally, the Nashville Sounds went to Memphis this week, 1 game behind the Redbirds for the division lead. However, they now find themselves 4 games back after losing 3 of the first 4 in the series. They have 2 more against the Redbirds before they head home again to start a 6-game series against the Gwinnett Snappers here in Nashville. My guest this week is Officer Kurt Cook of the Metro Nashville Police Department. Officer Cook serves in the East Precinct and is a pretty big sports fan. I got to chat with him about his sports background and what it's like to work traffic control for sporting events around town. It was a really interesting conversation, and I hope you enjoy. Well, Kurt, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate you coming on. We've known each other for a while now, and I thought it would be interesting to talk to you in your capacity as a police officer about what the experience is like for you and members of the force when working sporting events and dealing with in and around sporting events. But before we get into that, of course, I'm going to ask you the same questions I ask everyone.
That's fair.
Starting with number 1. What is your favorite sport to play?
Ultimate Frisbee. It was like something I started playing in high school. I was really lame in high school and on the debate team for all 4 years. And a big part of like summer activities, like there'd be debate camps or whatever, but Ultimate Frisbee is big there. And just combines like a lot of things I enjoy. I get to run a lot. It's fast paced. Accuracy is really prized in it. It's something I've always kind of enjoyed.
Right on. And do you still throw a disc at all? Get out on the disc golf course? Is that where Ultimate Frisbee players retire to Frisbee golf?
I mean, that is a very like common pathway for them to retire. No, I mean, I feel like I don't have enough free time anymore with work to like get into and keep playing. It's something I'd like to get back into, but I'm still always happy when I get to throw a good, 168 gram regulation weight. Feels great in hand.
Sure, totally. 168, 175. Those are good weights. Yeah. I feel you. Okay, well, what is your favorite sport to watch then? I should mention too, last week I was doing the number 2, but I don't feel like I really need to.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hit a little sports talk there. But anyways, back to you, the interview guest. What is your favorite sport to watch?
On TV, it'd definitely be football. I'll like watch every game I can. Yeah, I mean, definitely, with my like schedule at work now, I'm able to watch a good amount of football, which is nice. Like a normal afternoon for my wife and I on a Sunday is like to watch every game from start till the end of the nighttime game when we get tired. In person, it's definitely hockey. Like hockey is outstanding. It's impossible to beat. I've finally bit the bullet and decided to get season tickets to something, and it's the Preds for the first time ever. It's a quarter season, but I'll watch as much hockey as I can.
That's awesome. And when you guys are watching at home, are you a full game kind of family? Are you Red Zone channel or a mix of the two? How's that work?
So it'll be the main TV will have a game on it, and then there's a secondary TV will have a second game, and then there's a third monitor that will have Red Zone. If like the sunlight's right, we built a screen porch years ago with the help of my brother and my brother-in-law, and I've got a 110-inch projection screen out there, and we'll usually have a game out there and then move like a side monitor and a side TV out. Or if I leave my wife to her own devices, there'll be like 4 games going on at once on the main screen, and she's happy just like flip between them with the audio. But we'll as much as we possibly can.
It puts me in mind of Mr. Gaddy's Pizza, and they used to do a big projection screen. A quick story about myself again. First Tom Brady Super Bowl was my junior year of high school, and I had a teacher who was from Boston. They hadn't won anything at this point. And we had a big test coming up the following day, and he said, if the Patriots win, no test, everybody gets an A. And of course, they were massive underdogs to the Rams that game. And I remember watching at the Mr. Gaddy's on Murphy Road as the Patriots beat the Rams and being incredibly grateful because I had decided not to study at all for that test. The one and only time I enjoyed Tom Brady and his shenanigans.
I think we've all got great memories of that. It was like the weird run through the playoffs with the tuck rule and everything. And I mean, I fully expected the Rams to win that Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think I was still hurting from the previous year. Okay, so what is your earliest sports memories?
I mean, just like earliest total would be playing T-ball I had to be like 4, I think probably 4 or 5, living in Vancouver, Washington. It's just across the border from Portland, Oregon. I vividly, for whatever reason, remember trying to like line up the bat so I could actually hit the T-ball, like hit the ball off the tee. It's always stuck with me. And then I ended up playing a ton of baseball growing up and loving that and going to like baseball camps in the summer. Cool. It became like a big part of my life. So
what position were you playing?
I was frequently left field.
Okay. So more of a slugger
no golden
position.
Glove. Yeah, exactly.
We need your bat, and I guess we got to put you out on the field somewhere. Get on out.
I'd like to think myself that way. Yeah.
Hey, far better than I was. I couldn't swing a bat to save my life. I could catch a ball, but baseball was not to be for me. So.
Yeah, I think, I remember like one camp where it got clocked like in, like 69 or 70 miles an hour for like pitching. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll take that. Like, I'm never going to do better than that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's not where we're stuck.
All right, we're going to get into some more different and interesting questions now. How did you end up in Nashville? You mentioned playing T-ball in Vancouver, Washington. That's a long ways away.
Yeah, I lived a lot of places before here, but immediately before Nashville, I was living in Salt Lake City, Utah. I went to college there, and I was working for the Cheesecake Factory of all things. Like my best friend in town had just gotten promoted to being a manager for the Cheesecake Factory in their kitchen, and they asked him to move out to Tennessee, and he just came up to me randomly one day at work and was like, "Hey man, you want to move to Nashville? Like, give me a couple hours, I'll think about it." And I don't think he was expecting that answer because I had nothing tied to Salt Lake. My brother had been living with me, but he just moved out to Indiana. So it felt like a good point to just like make a dramatic change. And I'd never lived in the South and came out here and did some restaurant openings with them and started like training a lot of their staff. And one thing led to another. I went through bartending for a while. And for the last 4 years, I've been a cop.
Wow. Okay. So you chased the Cheesecake Factory out here. And
kind of. I mean, it was like a way to move to a new place.
Yeah, no,
and
it's awesome.
I've got a job when I get there. So I'll take that,
Which was the first Cheesecake Factory you worked at when you came to town?
Oh, man. So I was initially supposed to work at the one in Cool Springs. They wanted me to help open that one and train staff, but I didn't want to work in Cool Springs. I wanted to be closer to downtown, which was the Green Hills location. Oh. So I strategically informed corporate that I was living with a manager, which was my buddy.
Nice.
And, well, yeah.
And he was
corporate policy. We can't work at the same location.
Oh,
so they had
nice.
It forced them to transfer me to the other one.
Brilliant.
Yeah, they weren't. I don't know if they were thrilled about that, but if they're gonna give me a copy of the rule book, I'll use it.
Use your rules against them. It just shows how well you know and understand the Cheesecake Factory brand, and I think that's to be commended and rewarded with you work the system, and the system works for you. I think so. Kudos.
Yeah, I mean, as much as it's like a soulless corporate restaurant, I definitely learned a lot there. Hard work was rewarded. Like I felt like I was able to climb the ranks quickly with just caring.
Cheesecake Factory may be many things, but you're not going to leave there wanting more food or disappointed by what you were served, I think, personally.
Yeah, I'd agree. And, seeing how the sausage is made, so to speak, like they're scratch recipes. Like I remember people ask me, like, what's in the mashed potatoes? And I mean, it's like potatoes, salt, and butter.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
God bless them. Well, you got any off-menu cheesecake recipe hacks or suggestions for our legions of Cheesecake Factory fans?
Nothing crazy I can think of. I mean, there was stuff I was able to work with, like the cooks offhand that they do.
Okay,
like,
so more of a one-off.
Louisiana Cajun pasta, but I know they have dried guajillos in back, so I'd like talk to them and like they'll put some guajillos in there. You might get shut down at the table if you try that.
Do you ever go now and try and drop knowledge? Be like, I know you got guajillos back there. Come on. Take that kind of knowledge in wearing a police officer's uniform. I think you're going to get the guajillos. I think it'll happen. Just scoot on back there and let's see what we can make. Okay, so that was an interesting way to end up in Nashville and one of the more enjoyable answers. You are an unfortunate Vikings fan in real life, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's my cross to bear.
Okay, so Nashville-wise, it sounds like maybe the Predators would be your favorite team. That's the next question, is what's your favorite Nashville sports team?
Yeah, definitely the Predators. I left Minnesota. I lived in Minnesota for a bit, but I left there like the year they got the Wild. Never really got attached to it. Moved to Utah at that point too. Yeah, I must have been like 10. So didn't really have a hockey team growing up. I've like gone to some minor league teams in Vancouver, Washington, gone to some of those games. But yeah, the Preds are like, my first NHL game was the Preds. It was Preds Caps. I remember I was with a buddy of mine that I was working with at a greenhouse at the time in Green Hills. And he learned that I'd never gone to a hockey game before.
Oh.
And like, we've both been like, we play inside a couple weeks in advance, but we made sure to get like seats on the glass,
Nice.
like attacking end. Man, it was a lot of money, but at the time, like I loved it. I had like a good friend of mine that was like, "No, dude, like yeah, I'll spend $250 on a ticket, like so you can go to your first NHL game and I can be there." Like it was a ton of fun.
That's a great way to go to your first NHL game. You know, it's really interesting too because it's like it's a whole different experience than what probably become more of the normal. If you're anything like me, you're in the 300s usually. Down on the ice, you hear things, you smell things, you feel things, but you can't really see because the boards cut you off in certain places. And if you're on like, you know, behind a goal or something, it's hard to track. So that's the trade-off. And then you go up top and you can see everything, but of course you can't hear the guys cursing each other out. But it's an interesting, two different experiences of the same thing, but what a great way to go. And I don't know if you listened to last week, but my first Pred game was a Caps game. I highly recommend it.
I did, yeah. I mean,
the
you had like the tremendous day of like Titans, Vikings and not just Vikings, but like good Vikings.
Yeah, oh, the best.
Like Vikings that should have gone to the Super Bowl.
Should have won the Super Bowl that year.
Benny greened it.
Yeah. Multiple Hall of Famers I got to see that day. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I was smiling as I was driving at work listening to your podcast.
Well, thank you. Hey, getting listened to in the cop car. That's cool.
Oh, yeah.
Tell your friends. Speaking of memories and whatnot, what is your favorite Nashville sports memory or moment?
I mean, so some of like the iconic ones I wasn't here for because I moved here in 2014. But for me, it'd be Titans Jaguars Thursday night game in December of 2018. I just started dating like my then wife. Like we met and started dating. We met in like New Year's Eve. But we started dating in like April, May. Things have been going well for like 5-6 months, but just randomly I had like a night off and I was still bartending at the time. And I was like, looked at like Titans tickets just on a whim and was like, oh man, like I can get tickets to the game for like $50 each. Yeah. Just texted her. It's like, hey, like you want to go to Titans game? And she's like, yeah, absolutely. 100%. And it happened to be Derrick Henry just destroying the Jaguars.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was like the 99-yard run from, you know, he got the ball back in the end zone. I think he had like 200-something yards on like 14 carries or 17 carries. I remember him having like 14 yards per carry. Just like a ridiculous performance.
The 99-yard run, iconic. Just absolutely iconic.
Yeah, I mean, just being there for that. Amazing. And I hadn't gone to a lot of Titans games. I think I'd gone to one prior, like a Titans Vikings game. My brother and he, you know, flew in to come see that. So This was like my first time going to a Titans game as a Titans fan.
Oh yeah, on the good side, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like my wife was born and raised here in Nashville. She's a huge Titans fan. And being there for that and like watching it happen, just hearing the sound in the stadium, I'd never seen anything like it. Definitely my favorite Nissan moment ever.
Mm-hmm. You going to try and go to one for the last year in Nissan?
Yeah, I'd like to. We usually do the Titans 5K, and that comes with some tickets. We've gone in the last few years. The only issue is the tickets this year are Titans Jags, but it's the same time the Vikings play the Packers. And I don't know. I mean, I can go there and like watch the game on my phone, I guess. But
also true. We live in the future. Free tickets and a run. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, the 5K is cool. If anybody likes to run, I'd recommend it. Like, you get to finish on the field. Like, the finish line is the 50-yard line after you run around the, like, warning track of the field. It's definitely a fun experience to run through, like, the underbelly of the stadium.
Nice.
Yeah, and this is the year to do it before it turns into the monstrosity it is.
That's a strong endorsement of the Titans 5K, and I will try and keep my ears out when they start announcing dates and stuff. I'll try and get some links.
Generally, it'll be sometime in August is when you have to run it.
You run in August?
Yeah, so it sucks.
Well, you're already here in August, so, you know.
That's a good point.
Speaking of the iconic Derrick Henry run, let's talk about your Nashville sports Mount Rushmore. Who are your top four?
Say Eddie George, Steve McNair, Tagarine, and Philip Forsberg. And there's like a part of me that just wanted to go heavy Preds on this, but I feel like there's a lot that needs to be acknowledged here in terms of Nashville sports. But, you know, since I've been here, like I was like getting deep into loving the Preds when the Stanley Cup run happened. And so much of that is like so impactful in my life.
Yeah, for sure.
I was tempted to just like include Weber and Yossi in there too, but I can't just do all Preds for Mount Rushmore, unfortunately.
I mean, it's your Mount Rushmore. You can do whatever you want. If you want to revise and go 4 Preds, you're welcome to. No pressure.
No, I think it should be kept the way it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the way it is. Fun fact, I've been to Eddie George's restaurant in Columbus, Ohio.
Nice.
It's probably like
It's a
15 years ago,
right?
but it's just called Eddie 23.
Okay.
And yeah, Steakhouse Americana, but like I remember them pushing like the deep fried Oreos being a big thing. And this is before I lived in Nashville, and I'm like this is wild.
As a Cheesecake Factory veteran and insider, Eddie 23, where did it stack up? Would you put it on par with the Cheesecake Factory or?
Oh man, yeah, probably on par. I mean, I got to like pick off the menu and eat something that I thought would sound good. A lot of my food that I was eating at Cheesecake was like, I had time between like double shifts and I just, take what I could snag. But Cheesecake Factory never blew me away. But it's consistent and it's ubiquitous. And you can always, you can get your same Louisiana chicken pasta in every state if you really want it.
Even in Louisiana, I'm told.
That's true. Yeah. But generally, I prefer to go to local places. You're always going to find like more of the fun in food.
No, that makes sense. I just, Eddie is obviously a football player. So I was just wondering what he had managed to achieve culinarily.
I mean, it was impressive. Like the deep fried Oreo and then the deep fried double cheeseburger, which I didn't get, but I was jealous.
The deep fried double cheeseburger.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a large double bacon cheeseburger, not like a smash burger. Like these were, thick patties, and it was battered and fried. And I saw it on several tables around us. They had a knife in the middle to hold it together because there's no way it's structurally sound.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I mean, that might be one of like my regrets in life, decades from now, that like I was there and I didn't just force that to happen. I should have tried it.
Frankly, it just feels like it is anathema to everything I know about Eddie George, and like literally something that I mean, I've never met Eddie George in my life. Don't know the man for anything, but I would bet all my money that is not something he's eating. You know, like I
don't think Eddie was deep frying cheeseburgers on the run
that's
to the
like
Super Bowl.
Tony Saragusa's steakhouse or something. That's not that's no Eddie George steakhouse. That's crazy. And the deep fried Oreos. Did he have a deep fried app too, so you could just like heart attack right through?
I mean, there probably was. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, I'm sure
they're all deep fried, aren't they? I've learned something new today, and I'm frankly shocked by it. But I'm just going to move right along because I'm not sure how to mentally process that one. Do you have any Nashville sports conspiracy theories or hot takes you want to share?
Yeah, I mean, as far as conspiracies or hot takes, I think that there was some low-level ref collusion to prevent us from winning the Stanley Cup that year. Nothing else makes sense. Some of those calls were outrageous. And that Amy Adams, for whatever reason, unbeknownst to me, wants the Titans to be terrible.
Maybe it's one of those Ted Lasso, Major Leagues, the producer type things,
That could be it. I mean, I'm a Titans fan as they are my AFC team, but I don't think any real fan can understand like the decisions that she has made for the team or long-term decisions or the number of people that have left the team and then gone to win Super Bowls.
Yeah, I don't think it's out of line to wonder, and it may be true. I actually think that she has kind of wandered through the wilderness a little, and maybe it's just a delusional Titans fan in me, but I'm feeling like with Mike Bergonzi, Robert Saleh, maybe we've turned a corner, getting the structure in place now. Like, as I speak it out, it feels more and more like I'm just like trying to account for my own delusion, but I do kind of think maybe she's come around on it. I hope.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you can have, I feel like I've gone through decades of it's hard to have hope with my Vikings. And
what's going on at quarterback there right now? Good grief.
I mean, it is so interesting. I don't know if you saw this was a couple weeks ago, but there was like the same day in training camp where they had an interview with Murray and McCarthy, and they got asked the same question at different times of the day by the same reporters. And, it's like, hey, what's it like working with, JJ McCarthy? And he's like, oh, like Kyler Murray told him like, oh, it's like, we're learning a lot from each other, like stuff I know. I'm trying to show him, but like he's teaching me stuff as well. He's such a student. He wants to learn as much as possible. Like the normal canned NFL answer. And when McCarthy got asked, he's like, it's like being in high school and that guy's on the other side of the classroom. You don't really talk to him. That is not confidence inspiring. I don't know what's going on.
It sounds like McCarthy was honest, but Kyler Murray said what he should have. And maybe they should both learn something there. I will say, too, the whole 9 thing that McCarthy's got going on is just about the cringiest thing of all time.
Yeah.
But should be a lot of fun to watch. I mean, everything else they have on offense seems incredible. They've got, I don't want to jump the gun on the Titans receiving cores here, but one of the only receiving cores in the NFL that I can say with 100% certainty should be more productive than the Titans is the Vikings.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot there with, Jefferson Addison and Juwan Jennings. Juwan Jennings is a great pickup. Totally worth the trade. Like, I'll take that all day long.
Absolutely. Well, good luck to you on that. We'll be praying for you and the Vikings. Some of the better colors in sports too. Cooler uniforms.
Absolutely.
As well. All right. So the last of my regular questions is, what is your favorite restaurant in Nashville? And I know that you have a chance to get out to a lot of them, so I'm curious to hear. You don't have to hold yourself to one. You can name a few if you like.
Okay.
What you got?
I mean, I'm blessed with, I work in East Nashville, so there's a lot of delicious food there that I get to try frequently. For breakfast, I would say Mr. Aaron's. Incredible bagels, the best I've had in town. Super friendly ownership. They've got great produce and things. Like, I made a BLT yesterday with like some awesome heirloom tomatoes that they just happen to have in their cooler, and they had some Gifford's bacon there too. Like, they're a good like neighborhood spot. And they've been going on for forever. For people that aren't familiar with like that part of East Nashville, they took over the old TKO spot, which is a really cool Chinese Southern fusion restaurant that was there for a while. And Aaron started working there like just on the weekends when they weren't open. That's definitely my favorite breakfast spot. The bagel sandwiches are incredible. They make a good pork roll. After that, Redhead Stranger be a go-to, like just consistently good. Once again, like a local place that's making their own things. Their flour tortillas are made by hand. Their crunch wrap's incredible. They've got the best burger in East Nashville, in my opinion. It is a smash burger with Hatch green chili queso. It's on Martin's potato bun. It's got thick cut bacon on it, and I think a house-made ranch. And I'm a huge fan of that one. I've loved that one for years. Honorable mention to Cardis, which is a Turkish restaurant at Charlotte and 40th. Ooh. My wife and I have gone there a couple times now. It's over at like the L&L, whatever that
the
building
World Market
is.
Area there?
It's over near like where Taqueria del Sol used to be, I think. It's like right near the fire station. Cardis is incredible. They're like, I've talked to their chef multiple times. They're using fresh local ingredients. It's a very seasonal menu. I remember in winter how like excited he was about like spring and summer and all the new dishes he wanted to make. Yeah, I'd absolutely go to that place. And it's very much a chef's table type thing. Like the countertop just wraps around a small kitchen and you're able to watch them cook and they talk to you the entire time.
That's awesome. Is it Kardis?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Cardis.
He was the man that told me my name in Turkish means wolf.
Hey, cool.
Which I did not know what my name meant in Turkish. I'll take it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Anytime your name means wolf, it probably feels good. Any other restaurants?
Those would be the ones that I thought could make the cut for this. If you want something fancy, Peninsula is delicious. I love Peninsula. That's over on West Eastland and Gallatin, like Spanish tapas, and one of the only places I know in town that has like actual Iberico pig, and they'll serve it to you in like a pressa, which is like a steak version of it. Like Peninsula is really cool. Those would round out my favorites.
Awesome. Those are some great ones, and I will have to get down to Cardis. That sounds awesome. So we're going to move on now to the reason for the season. You, as I mentioned at the beginning of the interview, are a police officer with Metro Nashville Police, and sometimes in that role you will be part of, what do you call it, traffic control, traffic easing, what do you guys have a name for it?
Honestly, whatever the city wants to use us for. It's surprising the amount of time that police officers are mandated to do like private sporting event or private concert event things.
How does it work? Do they tell you in advance, like, hey, next Thursday you've got a game, or do you just show up on the day and they say,
yeah, like ideally I'll know a week in advance would be nice. That doesn't always happen. I've gotten ones where it's like a couple days in advance that it's just like, hey, your day off is canceled. You're going to go work traffic at this event. It depends on how well organized they are.
So it would always be if it was something that aligned with your regular shift, or will they go, I know you normally work in the morning, but we need you at the Titans game Sunday night?
It depends on what people want to do. They're frequently sending out emails letting people sign up for overtime or for, any sporting events. And if people don't sign up for those, if they have a gap, they'll start mandating people. And the way they mandate people is on their days off. I don't really sign up to work sporting events, but it definitely happens frequently enough that I'm there. And I'll get an email, hopefully a week in advance. Sometimes it's a few days in advance telling me that, hey, you thought you were off Thursday. No, you're working.
Surprise.
Yeah. Predators traffic. Yeah. It's a surprise. Like, I don't know, they're still paying me, but it's never fun to,
Yeah.
be told you lose your time off.
And then, so the day of, I assume there's somewhere you report to. Is there like a command center where, in like cop shows, they all show up and the lead detective's like, we got to get out there and we got to do all the things. And I want to see you guys. Do you have that little meeting and then get sent out there? Or is it like,
Yeah, we have a roll call meeting. It's much more laid back, and there's not as much gusto about it. It'll be somewhere nearby, like a staging area. We basically just near where everybody can park. And the main purpose of it is to do a roll call and make sure that everybody that got told they had to be here showed up. And if you don't show up, you better have a good reason. Otherwise, there's going to be some consequences. You can't just call out of mandates. But they'll do a roll call. They'll tell people where they're supposed to be. They'll make sure everybody knows what radio channel they're going to be on. If something catastrophic happens, we'll have like a contingency plan for that. It's going to roll. But it's generally pretty quick. And a lot of people, they do this frequently. They like to work these events because like working traffic for the Titans game, you're not doing much. I mean, you're like standing there,
hanging out, waving
at the beginning,
to people.
During the game, there's nothing going on, and then once everything lets out, you have to direct traffic for a little bit. But it's not that bad. And they pay us time and a half for it. So
that's a beautiful thing. You say you got people that do it a lot. Do they have like I always do this position, like I'm always this guy?
Yeah, especially with the Titans games, there's some guys that work it so much that, they've got badges from the NFL because the NFL requires you have like a separate identification to allow you to be inside the stadium during the game. So they have those, and they work internal security. I've had some of the old veterans tell me like, man, you need to get this gig. Like, the key is you grab a large soda that has refills at the beginning of the game. And then you just get to drink soda while you watch the game on one of the small TVs the whole time. And I'm like, yes.
Hey. So there's definitely some roles that are better than others on those days.
Yeah, and because I don't really go after those, I'm generally mandated for traffic or something.
When they send you out to traffic, like with the Predators games, they always block off Broadway up there, I think on 9th. How does that work? Is there like a map with little like, all right, we're going to block off here, we're going to block off here, you grab these cones? Like,
Yeah, there is. We'll have like a full document that gets sent out to us telling us where we're at. It'll have a map overlay of the normal city roads and how they are changing traffic patterns and which ones are blocked off. It's usually color coded. And like it's very easy for us to see like how we are changing the flow within the city. And allegedly, there's some sort of research that goes into this. Functionally at the ground level, we have boxes at most of the intersections where we can control traffic and we'll pull traffic specific directions. So, someone might say like, I need a pull on Demumbrian, and like we'll pull everything out towards the highway there, or they might call for a long pull. It's kind of vague, but generally the traffic systems and the timers they're on are designed to handle a normal workload pretty efficiently. But if we have something abnormal, like everybody trying to leave Bridgestone at once, then pulling just all greens from, Bridgestone on Demumbrian all the way out, or Bridgestone on KBB all the way to the highway. Like if you pull that for 90 seconds, you can move a lot of cars and, hopefully alleviate things. But that requires people to be there manually at all those lights synced up to do it sequentially.
It sounds like there's a little bit of an art to it too, because you can't really control the randomness of when somebody gets out and where their car is. And you may have surges from different locations. Is there one guy like back at the command center going like you're saying, like, I need a pull on Demumbrian? Or is it more of a like battlefield, we report back and then the general makes the orders?
Yeah, there's a command center that's running this, but they're taking input from everybody, and it's all on one radio channel. So they don't know what's going on until someone says, like, hey, we're getting backed up here, and you can kind of figure out, like, okay, I should probably start pulling things this way. But they're incorporating drones and things like that more recently just for traffic control to like fly them over a general space. We did this with Black Friday last year out near Opry Mills where I was forced to work there. And normally it'd be like a supervisor driving the whole area to see what the traffic flow is like. Instead, they just, they put up like a, quad rotor and flew it over a bunch of the intersections there. And at least command felt comfortable seeing the traffic flow and deciding that like, okay, we can stop using like police to manually control the traffic flow.
I'm so curious about the drones over Opry Mills because that is like right next to the approach to BNA. I mean, obviously the police can get some sort of special disposition, but it seems like it seems like somebody kick up a stink about that. So
yeah, I mean they're pretty low level, and generally like the FAA regulations, at least with us, where you have to have them within line of sight. And then now within the last couple of months, they've given us a different license where Metro does no longer need them within line of sight.
Oh wow, that's a big difference for sure. You work Predators games, Titans games, you've worked Opry Mills. I'm guessing some other events would be like CMA Fest or the Music City Marathon. Any other
Both of
interesting
those.
events out there?
NSC is always
NSC.
a nightmare.
Yeah, coming out of that little bottleneck over there, Wedgwood and Nolensville and all that, I imagine it's pretty messy. Any other kind of events that I'm not thinking of that you guys get called out for this sort of stuff?
I mean, they have us work for everything. I don't know, I'll be mandated for the 4th of July, New Year's Eve, all that normal stuff. But in terms of sporting events, yeah, those can be, random things like when we were going through some of the MLS Cup stuff and like all of a sudden Nashville's playing, Inter Miami and we're going to have Messi here and all the crowds that come with that. Like there'll be a, last second email like, hey, we need a bunch of officers for this day. And then, with like 2 days warning. And then later that day, people get mandated. So sometimes it's almost no warning. Because the city can't project how everything's going to happen.
Sure. I'm guessing, now listen to you say it, I'm guessing that the craziest 2 nights, July 4th and New Year's, is that right?
Yeah, that'd be pretty fair.
Have you seen any crazy stuff coming in or out of sports games? Or are there any particular teams or fans that you've found more or less agreeable?
Not so much. I haven't worked a lot of the NFL stuff, and that's where you're going to have most of the diehard fans, at least for Nashville. Nothing too crazy. I feel like a lot of the Preds fans from opposing teams just filter on down through Broadway and kind of expend all their energy down there. In terms of like difficulties directing traffic or controlling a crowd, it's usually been home fans that are the biggest issue.
Yeah, I guess they're more of them actually driving to the games.
Yeah, or they feel comfortable enough that like they know how this works and don't want to accept that like a certain road's closed. I've dealt with that multiple times. I remember it was a NFC Miami game I got mandated for, but like roads fully blocked off and this woman just like drove over a sidewalk to get around my car.
Oh, love that. That's great.
Yeah. I just kept driving down this road and it's like we're blocking this off for a reason so we can pull traffic specific directions just to keep things as efficient as possible. I'm not saying it's the best method. I definitely didn't get to design it, but some part of me believes it's better than letting people take shortcuts and popping out onto other routes when we're trying to keep a flow going.
So how did you handle that? Did you hop in your car and chase her down?
I stepped into the road and hit her with a pretty powerful flashlight.
Oh, okay.
Your face was like, stop.
What on earth are you doing?
And, I'm like, hey, like, what are you doing? And her response was, I love it to this day. She said, whatever, I'll just pay the ticket, write it. A wild response.
Wow. That is
like you just drove through like a police barricade. That's not a ticket.
Did you?
I made her turn around, but that was after like a discussion of I told her like, hey, this isn't just a ticket. Like I will forcibly remove you from your car. You will be arrested.
That's crazy. That the amount of entitlement there is just outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, she had a nice Range Rover. I think she just looks at things differently.
Okay, well, to wrap things up, do you have any requests to the general public or any advice or anything that, what would make your job easier or would make life easier when working games or just generally as a police officer or as a human or a sports fan or any other kind of way you want to present yourself?
Yeah, I mean, from a base level, the city is really not designed to handle the level of people we have right now. And it's something we're definitely struggling with on like a traffic control side of things. And like, I don't even work a lot of traffic and it's obvious to me. Just way too many cars for the area we have. A little bit of like understanding and sympathy. We're never trying to keep people waiting for any longer than we have to. Our goal is to get as many cars out as quickly as possible. There's just not a great solution to it. So, if you're sitting at a light wondering like, why am I waiting here? It's just the infrastructure is overloaded. We're trying to find the quickest way to move cars out. And we think we've got it down to a pretty good system, but it's never going to be a perfect flow. We also want you gone as quickly as possible because then it lets us go home.
So you're not trying to gum up the works. Do you notice that it's a little bit harder or easier depending on home win or home loss? Or is it about the same?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I definitely had some rowdier crowds, especially the soccer games after a loss. Like some people are, but I mean,
after the soccer games, really? I would have thought.
A little bit, but like by and large, I don't know. People in Nashville are really nice to police. Like I don't have a lot of issues.
Well, that's a great thing. All right. Well, Kurt, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with me.
I'm grateful to be on the show. Glad you asked me to be a part of it.
All right. Well, thank you so much. All right. right. Well, that is our show for this week. My thanks again to Officer Kurt Cook for joining us. It was a lot of fun to pick his brain and hear a little bit more about how police work events here in town. A reminder, if you'd like to come on, you can reach out to us in a link in the description below. We're also available on social media at NSH Sports Report on Twitter and Blue Sky. Even if you don't want to come on the show, we'd love to hear from you. Love to hear some feedback. What do you like? What don't you like? How's your day going? Anything like that. As always, I will include links to the videos referenced in the description as well. And with that, I hope you have a wonderful weekend.